Why does a heavy ship float but a tiny stone sinks instantly? Let's solve this mystery. So the mystery, there is nothing a mystery behind it but the concept of science. The ship float due to buoyancy, which is explained by the Archimedes principle, and also we will discuss about the density. Why I said the density? Because see here, the object float or sink because of density, how tightly packed their particles are. If an object is denser than water, then it will sink, right? This is your wooden block. It is less dense than water, so it will float. As simple as, simply see here, this is your one iron nail, it will sink. This is your air filled balloon, it will float. The water bottle, it will float. And the reason behind it, simple, your buoyancy and density. So first of all, let's understand that what is buoyancy, right? So buoyancy is the upward force exerted by a fluid that opposes the weight of an object in the fluid. So if you will see here, this is, let's suppose this is your object, okay, and here the weight of the object means the gravity is acting here, right, and the buoyancy will act from here. That is the definition. Buoyancy is the upward force. This upward force exerted by a fluid, this is your fluid, let's suppose the water, okay, that opposes the weight of an object. This force is opposing the weight of an object in the fluid or submerged in the fluid, okay. This is the reason by which your ship doesn't sink but float, okay. Let's see by the experiment. As we have discussed about the buoyancy, so what is buoyancy? An upward force called buoyancy act on any object submerged in a fluid, right? In this case, what is happening, that the buoyancy force which is applied by this fluid on this object is higher than the weight of this object, okay. So that's why it is floating. Here you can see. Same, if you will see in this case, this is your one stone, okay. So the weight of this object is higher than the buoyancy, that's why it is sink. Or you can say with respect to density as well, the density of this is higher than the density of the water. What is the density of water? That is 1000 kg per cubic meter, okay. And a ship will float as long as this buoyancy force is greater than or equal to the ship's weight. Let's suppose if this is ship, so it will float until the weight, until the buoyancy force is higher than or equal to the weight of this object. Same in case of the ship as well. But if you will go in deep dive in the ship, so a ship floats because its hull is designed to displace a large volume of water, making the ship's average density lesser than the density of water, okay. If the average density is less than the water, then it will definitely float, otherwise it will sink, okay. Now let's discuss about the density as well. Density is denoted by the rho, okay, mass of an object to its volume, and the unit of the density is kg per cubic meter, that is the SI unit, right? Now if an object is denser than water, it sinks, okay. What is the meaning of this? This means that if the density of an object is higher than the density of water, then it will sink, right? If an object is less dense, it floats. Means if the density of the object is less than the density of water, it will float, okay. Same was said by the Archimedes as well, right? Now if I talk about the ship, why they float. So ships are made of tons of steel, okay, but they trap a lot of air inside it, right? So what will happen if you will trap the air inside it? It will make the overall density lesser than the density of water, okay. And as we have studied, just if the density is less than the density of water, so your object will float. So that's why your object is floating, okay.